government because justice cuts across. Everybody wants justice. Therefore, we cannot say it's the business of the judiciary to provide justice. We need support to find the land. We need support to get the required resources for us to be able to put up those infrastructure and for us to be able to run the judiciaries. And even within the delivery of justice, we know it is a chain link. Everybody is holding a part of the stick or the chain link. So we must work together to deliver justice. Given that delivery of justice to Kenyans is a shared obligation, which will be made possible by us engaging in a very coordinated manner with all the stakeholders and for us to open the doors to justice, what we are calling the multi-door approach to justice. We know Kenyans have the ability to solve their own problems. And therefore, we are urging that we embrace the court annex mediation. Do we have a court annex mediation here in Eldoret? Please let us activate it and let us encourage Kenyans to go for mediation, because mediation is sustainable in the sense that when you conclude a matter, you greet each other, as opposed to when the court issues the decree. So I see an opportunity for the leaders and the people of this county to partner with the judiciary at all the levels of our service delivery and make sure that we embrace this multi-door approach of court annex mediation. Even the Bible tells us, when you have a problem with a brother, first of all, you sit down and listen, isn't it? Before you move forward. It is the same when you have a dispute, just listen with the other person. And the court annex mediator is supposed to help you talk to each other, because sometimes our problem is communication. Why would the families be queuing in court for years on end to determine how to share their father's or their mother's property? It's because they don't talk to each other. All we need to tell them is that the law is so clear, there is no magic that a judicial officer or a judge is going to do other than tell them, when you are the children of so and so, the law says all of you are entitled equally to inherit the property. Do you need to queue in court for 10 years to be told that? So we need to empower our people with information that the solution lies in their own hands and they have the ability to resolve those problems. When I listened to the problems as we shared with my brother judges, I wondered whether I could sit here for a week as a mediator, because I think the Constitution will not refuse me to be just a mediator, because I was told there are succession cases in Eldoret that are as old as some of you magistrates. There are 1985 matters. There are 1994 matters. These matters, we must complete them. And therefore, I have agreed in the leadership meeting we have had with the magistrates and the chief registrar and also the registrar of the High Court that we have a service week in Eldoret where we try and get judges from other stations to come here and deal with those old cases and complete them, so that at least we don't have a case of 1990 in our courts. We don't have a case of 1980 in our courts. We can now talk about the 2000. And going forward, we finish those cases. So we are also committed to ensuring that we have courts in all the sub-counties, and we have discussed with the county government on how we can be given land to establish courts in the sub-counties that have no courts. And I think the chairman of Law Society mentioned these stations: Moiben, Soy, Keses, Kapsalet, and Tabo. We were also told about Moise Bridge that requires a court urgently. And because I love the small claims courts, I think they will have a small claims court very soon. The county governments, county assemblies, and other structures at the local level, and the national government constituency development funds, we have recognized our essential pillars to the delivery of justice to every Kenyan. And due to resource constraints, the judiciary cannot realize the aspiration of having a high court in every county and magistrates court in every sub-county immediately on our own. And this is why I'm here to build partnership within 59 days. In the small claims court, the difference in the jurisdiction, chairman, is that cases will be completed within 60 days. Whereas in the other court, they have their other timelines. But the small claims court, the cases must be finished within 60 days. And this is very, very attractive to the litigants. So I am happy to announce that today, the small claims court's registry in Eldoret is now operational, and we can start telling our litigants. I wish to take this opportunity to recognize in a very, very special way the support that we have received from our development partners, particularly the International Development Law Organization, IDLO, through our sister Teresa Mugaza, and whose commitments to ensure that we have access to justice is just palpable because of even the way she has traveled all the way from Nairobi to come and encourage us and support us to ensure that we make justice accessible to our people through the small claims courts, because it is known that this court is reaching the unreachable. People who could not afford to come to court because of filing fees and because of other structures that come on the way, bureaucracies, now can be able to easily file their case and come to court. They don't even need legal representation. And this is really people-centric delivery of justice. And we want to thank IDLO and all our partners for this support. So as we roll it out and seek support from our partners, I hope the people of Eldoret will embrace the small claims court and make use of its flexibility and simple procedures, personifying the court with an assured statutory timeline of 60 days for conclusion of matters filed before the small claims courts. And to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I urge the contractor who is going to build for us this project to complete it within the set timelines and adhere to the quality of workmanship as stated in the contract. I have very little knowledge about construction, but since I became the CJ, it made it my business to read those small prints and understand what the contractor is supposed to do and to deliver. And I can assure you, I am going to make a commitment that I will follow through to make the issue of staffing and delivery of justice. So please help me when you meet with your leaders. Tell them it is absolutely necessary for them to give the judiciary the support we require in building the courts. We are also here, in addition to laying the foundation stone for the new complex to launch the small claims court here in Eldoret. And the first thing I asked the adjudicator when her honor was introduced to me is how many cases have been registered in Eldoret. And she told me she started on Friday. Today is when? Monday, yeah? She already has 4 cases, yeah? And I know when you go back to the registry out of the 24,000 you talked about, Honorable Mikayan, you will find so many that are below 1 million shillings, a claim, a debt, a business, commercial matter below 1 million shilling, an accident matter, a running down matter, which is the claim is less than 1 million. And the judges here, he will transfer those files to the small claims court, isn't it? And, but please don't overwhelm the adjudicator. But I can assure you, before the end of this month, she will be having 500 cases. So the small claims court is doing very well, especially where it started at the Milimani Commercial Court since April last year. We